What we're looking at today, guys, well, we're gonna look at the Kansept Prickle, in case you need to give someone the prickle tickle. That sounds kind of naughty, doesn't it? I think that's gonna be in the thumbnail. Guys, I have to do the YouTuber thing. I am a self-sponsored channel. I have a bunch of affiliate links and stuff down below. Anything you purchase down there supports the channel directly, so I really appreciate it. So we'll talk about that at the end of the video. So let's turn this around, take a look at this knife from above. First day in pockets. I talked about it on a live feed last night. So yeah, guys, without any further ado, let's look at it from above. But first, turn down the volume because here comes about 20 seconds of music. Today is the first day in pockets for the Kansept Prickle. Now, I've had this in my pocket for a couple hours now. I had this out in a live feed. I liked it. It is a lot of fun. I don't know how functional of a knife it's going to be. It is really comfortable, though. So we're going to go ahead and look at a bunch of the stuff that I've noticed, but give me a second. I will be right back. Guys, I had to go answer the doorbell. So this is, like I said, this is the Kansept Prickle. It's done with copper on top of, looks like steel liners with a fairly decent, I like this pocket clip. It's a pretty decent pocket clip. It is front flipper only, but since it is a liner lock, I'm not having any real issues with it. I can get a hold of it nice. It is relatively thin. It feels kind of awkward in hand at first, but once you get used to it, it's okay. I did do a good bit of cardboard cutting yesterday. As you can see, I was testing a knife that was kind of awkward, and I scuffed up my knuckles. The pocket clip sits nice and comfortably in hand, but it also is just about the right tension. I'm wearing a pair of shorts right now. It doesn't move around a lot in pocket because of pocket clip tension, but what it does do is if you're wearing loose pants like a pair of shorts or a pair of track pants, the weight of it swings around a lot, and you're very, very conscious of that in your pocket. Overall construction on everything on this is great. I've never really had an issue with any of the Kansept knives. Yes, I know, I'm saying it your way. No real issue with construction, fit, and finish on any of those. You've got a really unique blade on this, and it's not unique blade shape or anything like that. It's kind of reminiscent of like a Japanese clutch dagger, like a small Tonto with the nice sweep, like a traditional Tonto. But what's unique about it is it's a fairly thick blade stock. It's pretty narrow. It's not a very broad blade, yet they've done a good job of bringing that down to a very usable behind the edge thickness. Typically a knife like this, when you have like this style knife, you wind up with a pretty thick behind the edge on it just because there's not a lot of room to transition. So they did a really good job of doing it, and it is aggressively sharp. A lot of times this type of knife is more like a piercing tool. This is one of those like Mall Ninja style blades that's typically just used as like a stabbing, you know, for puncturing. But this one, however, I think is going to cut pretty well. I haven't done a lot of cutting with it. I just barely did any cutting. So you're looking at an S35 VN blade. The designer on this is Max Takachuk, I guess. And it is the Prickle. I mentioned that. So action on this, really nice. It's got a really smooth action. It's just shy of fall shut, but that's a pretty light blade. So a lot of times that fall shut happens not so much just like based on smoothness, but based on weight of the blade. Guys, my daughter walked in. She had to grab some stuff. The brass on this, or copper, I'm sorry, is gonna patina up nice. I do have to say, I think that these companies are putting a coating on the copper, and I'm not a fan of that. I wish it was just raw copper, because you can see this should have patinaed up more. I have the same thing with my Grazioso. I believe there's a coating of some sorts on it, because you would expect this to have patinaed up a lot more. As much, you know, Jared carrying it, I've been messing with it for a couple hours. It typically does not take copper real long to start to patina up. So that would be something. It kind of looks like there's something on it. That's somewhat finished, but it's also, I believe, some sort of coating that's preventing a little bit of the patina process. Blade finish on this is unique. I'm not sure what the blade coating is on this. It could be a DLC. whatever it is has been polished and fine stonewashed to the point where even with the coating and the wash on it, you can see there you're getting a good bit of reflection. That's reflection of the matte off the back of my phone. So it's pretty polished for a stonewashed and coated blade. So it does not have a lot of friction. The little bit of cutting I've done with it so far, which is just some light duty cutting, it seems to glide through nicely. And that's one of the things about a good blade finish. Blade finishes can affect how a knife cuts because it adds friction. That's why I'm not a fan of Cerakote. That's why I'm not a fan of acid washed or bead blasted blades, just sandblasted blades. The coarser that finish, the more scratching you're going to get. You're going to see those shines on the finish where it has cut through and it's starting to do. And then it's also going to add friction, and adding friction to a cut is always going to be detrimental to how it cuts. So this actually seems to glide through material pretty well. I have a couple of cardboard boxes that need to go out in the recycling bin. This is going to get some chance to cut that stuff up. The jimping on it, I will say, is just about the way I like it. It's just about perfect. It is not completely rounded over, yet it's not super sharp. There's just enough tooth to it. You can definitely feel like you're not going to slide up over it. If you're wearing gloves, it'd be even better. And the fact is that jimping runs all the way up to where, just halfway, almost halfway up the blade. So you've got a lot of jimping so you can get on it and do some cutting. It feels really comfortable in hand for a small knife, and I think it's because it's pretty thick. So if you're going to have a narrow knife this way, you want it pretty thick across the back. So adding a little bit more material here, having it be skinny here, it still feels your hand. So it doesn't feel like it's going to be as uncomfortable to cut with as some of the other narrow knives like I complain about in the Benchmade 940. It feels difficult to cut with because you can't get a real good grip on it because it is so thin and small. On this, I think this is going to cut a little bit better than the 940. I honestly do, mainly because it's more comfortable in hand. It has a smaller finger choil. Access to the lock bar release is really good. A lot of the liner blocks do that better than frame locks, to tell you the truth, because it is a more open area and you're dealing with a thinner lock bar on a liner lock. Front flippers that are liner locks, typically I like better because I'm not having to make sure that I keep my finger off of the lock bar. So in something like this, I don't have to change the position of my hand as much. It doesn't bother me as much. So yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this. We'll see how it plays out over time. I do like the overall look of this knife. It is an attractive little knife in a small package. It is aggressive. It looks tactical. You've got the black and polished blade with the fuller in it. It has an overall really, really nice look. So I'm hoping that, we're going to take a look at this over time. I'm going to do a bunch of cut testing and stuff with it and see, because I do enjoy carrying it. Like I said, the thing that really bothers me the most about is the weight. I'd be curious to see. I haven't looked anything up yet. You know how that works on this channel. I haven't looked anything up yet, but I'd be curious to see if there's maybe a G10 or micarta version of this. I would be down for a micarta version. I like the weight in hand. It feels really good in hand. It feels solid. But then again, like I said, when you're carrying it in anything loose fitting, you can just feel it thump up against your leg as you walk. And all knives do that. But this thing is significantly heavier. I'm going to do something out of character. We're going to grab the scale and we're going to get some weight on it because I am really curious. I want to do a comparison to a similar size knife, and I want to do a quick comparison in weight so you guys can just really see. So I typically don't get a weight. I don't break out the scale or anything on first day in pockets, but I'm just really curious because it is a very heavy knife. I'm curious to see what the actual weight is on it. So let's go ahead and do it in ounces first. In ounces, it's coming in at 5.5 ounces, and that's a lot for a small knife because this is a knife that is comparable in size. This is the Osprey, and granted, this is, it's a bolster lock and a bunch of other stuff, but it's a comparably sized knife, and it's only 3 1/8. And to give you a big perspective difference, this is a much larger knife. And what did we say this is coming in at? Just for my own edification and remembering myself, 5.5. This is coming in, that big knife is coming in at 5 1/8. So this is actually lighter than this. So this is actually lighter than this, I mean, so that's a big comparison. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. So yeah, like I said, guys, while it is heavy and everything, it's not uncomfortable. It feels well balanced. It doesn't feel slick and slippery, even though it doesn't have a lot of like facets to hold on to. It doesn't have a bunch of finger chills. I don't know how it would feel in wet hands. I'm curious if it would feel slippery. We'll find out later. I might do some small kitchen tasks with this because this is kind of paring knife sized. Kitchen tasks are a good way to judge how well a knife cuts, especially if you're cutting things like apples or potatoes. How's it sliding through? Is it breaking the material as it cuts through? So yeah, but we'll give this knife a fair shot. I've been excited to put this one in my pocket since I did the unboxing. I'm like, I kind of know that this is going to be something that just makes me smile to carry. Even if it's not real functional, I'm still probably going to like it a lot. So, all right, guys, that's about all I got on this. Let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. Guys, that's it on this one. Great little knife. I do like it. We'll see how the weight starts to bother because I believe I mentioned it at the tabletop. It is pretty heavy in a pair of shorts. So that's it on this one, guys. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. But please try to tell me why I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, they'll make sure you've got notifications turned on your device, or you will not get notified of the pretty much 3 things that go up Monday through Friday. Other ways you can do it, like I said in the intro, this is a self-sponsored channel. There's a handful of ways you can do it financially. I have affiliate links down below. Anything you purchase with the affiliate links supports the channel directly. I've got Blade HQ, Coffee Brand Coffee, and a bunch of affiliate links for Amazon. Anything you purchase with the Amazon affiliate links, even if it's not the item you clicked on, I still get credit for it. So Remind shampoo, chia seeds, dried strawberries, doesn't matter. Other ways you can do it, I have a membership down below that is tier-based. If you want to get in on the membership, pick a tier that suits you best. But remember, everyone gets $5 off my sharpening service and everyone has access to my gilded server. But the premium tier guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series. And the final way is I have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co. I've set up a coupon code that works anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. that will save you 10% at checkout. That coupon code is Crazy Sharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, Crazy Sharp. Saves you 10% at checkout. And if you send me pictures of you wearing my merchandise, I will put them in a video. Guys, that's it in this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. It makes it easier to moderate the channel. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you next time.